All right, good morning and welcome to another session of Fit Essentials. I'm Shauna and I'll be taking you through our workout today. Before we come to our feet, we're gonna roll through this disclaimer. You're about to engage in intense physical activity. Proceed with caution. Do not attempt to perform any movement or activity that exceeds your current physical capabilities. Participants with injuries, high blood pressure, chronic health conditions, recent chest pain, or that have any other condition that may limit their ability to participate in this activity should consult their physician or healthcare provider before proceeding. All right, let's go ahead and come to your feet. We're going to start with our breathing. All right, hands right underneath the chest. Go ahead and place your feet just outside the hips. Feel free to close your eyes if you know the drill. Breathe in, reach up nice and tall. Stretch up to overhead and exhale. Drop the arms down to the side. Fantastic. We're going to do that twice more, 3 cycles total. Breathe and reach. Pull that chin in, elongate through the neck. And exhale. Try to open the chest a little bit more each time you drop those arms down. Last time. Breathe and stretch. Again, pull the chin in, reach up, and let it all the way out. Very good. All right, we're going to go again and get some blood flow going next. I know some of you are outside, got a little bit colder weather, so we're going to start stepping to the side, arms up to overhead. There you go. We'll get some blood flow going, and then we're going to do a little bit more stretching. So either side steps here, or once you start to feel warm enough, if you want to do a little bit of jumping jacks, feel free. Let me just adjust this a little bit. Very good. Nice long arms on those jumping jacks. Try to have those arms nice and straight. Fantastic. All right, next we're either going to march or you can skip in place. So you want to add a little hop to it. Focus to keep your hips nice and square. As your knees drive up, lift the toes as well. There you go. Welcome, Diane. Yep, so either marching or a nice little skip. Couple more seconds here. All right, next, arms in front, step to the side or your seal jacks, whatever you prefer. Shoulders back and down, opening through the chest. That's it. Good. Or you can do a nice little hop here. Again, whatever you prefer. We're going to go 15 more seconds. There you go. Good, Sharon. All right, next we're going to go chest nice and tall, pulling the heel up right underneath your glute. So again, you can either just step or gently jog in place. We're focused on activating the hamstring, pulling the heel up underneath the backside. There you go. Fantastic. 10 more seconds. Then we're going to do one more cycle of this, going back to our step or jump jacks. And here we go, back to the step or jump jacks. Fantastic. Arms up to overhead, step into the side. Always a reminder, you can play your own music here, the background, whatever you like to move your body to. All right, 2, 1, either marching with the punch across the body or a regular skip with the arms at the side. So skip is a little bit more dynamic, or focus on that march and punch. Get that exhale going as you punch across the body. Blow the air out. That's the way. As you lift the knees, lift the feet and toes as well. So lift those toes up. Very nice. Seal jacks next, arms in front of the body. Step out as you open the chest. Step in as you close. There you go. Open, close, open, close. If you want to add a little hop, the arms open as the feet hop Anytime you need a break or need to grab a drink of water, as I look around for mine. All right, we're gonna go to those heel lifts or butt kicks, whatever you want to call them. Pulling the heel up underneath the glutes, activating those hamstrings. So you can jog in place slightly if you want. Again, focused on heels towards the backside, or marching, but instead of focused on high knees, high heels. There you go, good. 10 more seconds here, and we're gonna move into some stretching. 2, 1, and relaxed. Fantastic. Let's go ahead and take the hands on the hips, going to move those hips around nice and gentle for some hip circles. Cycle it back and cycle it around. Beautiful. And when you're ready, go to reverse direction. Same thing other way. There we go. Very good. So let's go ahead. You're going to mirror me. So you'll be the opposite side as me. So this is my right. It's going to be your left. Step your left foot back behind. Make sure your right leg is planted, heel down, shin is vertical. You're going to take your left arm and we're going to start to reach across the body. So reaching across, hand back to the shoulder. And now we're going to reach across, hand back to the shoulder. Very good. 3 times there. So once more, reaching kind of straight across and back. Now we're going to reach to a little bit higher. So like you're trying to kind of reach across towards your forehead height and back. 3 times there. Reach towards like about the height of your head and back once more. Pushing that back hip forward, get a little bit of stretch on the front of the hip. Beautiful. Now we're going to go a little bit more to overhead. So reaching overhead, basically a side stretch and down and up to overhead. Fantastic. And down. One more there. Stretching it across and all the way down. Fantastic. Let's go ahead and walk that back foot in and rock those hips side to side this time. And find a reason to smile. There's a lot going on in the world. If you turn the news on this morning, it can be pretty dismal. So bring your energy into your body. Focus on caring for yourself. All right, now we're gonna do that same thing on the opposite side. So again, you're opposite me. So it's gonna be your right leg stepping back. Make sure your left is firmly planted, heel down, shin vertical, hand on this hip. And now we're gonna start by just reaching straight across the body, hand about shoulder height, back to the shoulder, and pushing that back hip forward as you reach across. Good job. Once more there. And back. Now we're going to move to about forehead height. So reaching a little bit higher across the body. 3 times there. We're just gently trying to open up the hip, elongating through the shoulder and arm. Fantastic. And then now we're going to go into more of that overhead reach. So reaching a little bit overhead and down. Good. Up and over and down. Beautiful, everyone. And last one, up and over and down. Fantastic. Walk the feet back in. And now we're going to long spine, send the hips back, engage the glutes, and just gently, really firing the glutes, send the hips forward, look a little bit up towards the ceiling. Bowing, sending them back. You can even support your hands on the low back as you bow back, only as far as you're comfortable there. And let's do that once more, bowing forward. And then lengthen through your spine, fire your glutes, gentle arch back. And relax. Very nice. Let's go ahead and swing out those arms back and forth, opening through the chest. Will you hand me that white cup over there, please? Sure. Very good. All right, we're going to go into our tricep side bends next. You can either have your feet just underneath the hips, or you can stagger the feet again to add a little bit more hip work into it. Thank you. So if you want to stagger them, it would be similar to that stretch we just did, okay? And we're going to reach the one arm up, ribs down here, bend the elbow, reach up, grab that arm, and now we're bending to the side. Breathe in to lengthen. Exhale as you go into that side stretch and tricep stretch. Very beautiful. And bend to the side. Couple more. On the last one, if you feel sturdy here, we're going to add a little bit of rotation to that side bend. So what I mean by that is you'll bend to the side and then think about your bottom armpit, turn it up towards the ceiling, or turn your heart towards the ceiling, however you want to see it. And then come up out of it, shake it out. And then we're going to go same thing other side. So either feet square, if you feel more stable there, or step that back foot back, reach up, bend that elbow, and check in with your posture here. So chin in, lengthen, and here we go. Bend to the side. Inhale, nice and long, ribs down. We're going 5 total. Breathe and lengthen. Breathe and lengthen. Very nice. Last one, if you feel good for it, bending to the side and then rotating. Turn your bottom shoulder towards the ceiling or heart towards the sky, however you want to see it. And shake it out. Beautiful, everyone. Next, let's go ahead and roll through that wrist a little bit. So fingers splayed nice and wide and start to roll through the wrist. Don't mind me here. I just placed my watch somewhere. Other way. Fantastic. Our elbow into the side. Pull all 4 fingers back. Extend your wrist and extend that hand out. Again, pulling it in, extend. Very good. Back and out. About 3 on one side, and then we'll shake out those wrists. Very good. And then about 3 on the other side. And tuck that elbow in, extend back and out. In, back, out. Very good. Last time. And shake it out. Oh, here it is. Here's the watch. All right, everybody. Fantastic. Next, we're going to stretch out the quads, and then we're going to get ready for our first circuit. So if you want to find somewhere to balance, if you're able to grab that foot, we're going to pull the heel towards the glute, stretching out the front of the thigh. And as we're doing this, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what we're getting ready for. So we'll do just a couple more stretches, make sure our spine is nice and warm, and then we're going to be starting with some sumo deadlifts. Those of you that might know that dumbbell snatch and want a little bit more advanced workout, feel free. I'm going to be demoing the sumo deadlift today, though. So if you're not familiar with the snatch, don't worry about it. Go ahead and switch legs. Stand up nice and tall, grab the foot. So we're going to be moving a total of 60 seconds. I'm going to tell you when we get to 30 seconds and probably again at 45. So if you don't quite feel ready for a full minute of doing those deadlifts, alternating the arm, then just stop a little bit early. Build your body into it. Go ahead and shake that out. So for the sumo deadlift, we're going to kind of warm up the position here with our next stretch. So we're going to have our feet nice and wide, plant them just outside the hips, little bit of bend in the knee, and now we're going to warm up a windmill stretch here. So hands out to the side, long spine as you hinge back, reach towards the opposite leg. Fire those glutes standing tall, hinging over, reach towards the opposite side, fire the glutes straight up. Good job. Let's get about 3 on each side here. So this is similar, maybe just a little bit closer with the feet. This is what we call like our sumo stance. We have a nice wide base stance. Hinge over and up. And then we're going to be holding our dumbbell. You can hold it just like this. And you'll be hinging over. You don't have to take it quite all the way to the floor. If you have a vertical position and it's easy for you to get down to the floor, but if it's nice and low, if you have to go really far here, if you feel like you're compromising your position of your low back, then just go about knee height, maybe mid shin, and so on, switching arms throughout. Then we're going to go to an overhead or what we call a front rack hold. So the front rack would be right here at the shoulder. We're going to hold upwards of 30 seconds, elbow forward, ribs down. If you feel secure here and have a good overhead position, you can advance it and go right into an overhead hold. Ribs down. We don't want to be arching the back here. So we're going to hold upwards of 30 seconds and then we'll switch arms. And that will be our cycle. So it'll be 1 minute upwards of the deadlift and then 30 seconds on each arm of either the front rack or that overhead hold. Questions on that? All right. 15 seconds, we're gonna go ahead and start. If you're not quite sure what you're doing, just watch us through that first round. We're gonna be doing a total of 3 cycles through. Starting with that deadlift. So walk those feet nice and wide, just outside the hips. Long spine, 2, 1, here we go. Hinging over, fire the glutes. You can switch hands at the top or at the bottom, whatever feels best. And if you'd rather have both arms on your weight, that's totally fine as well. You can just have both hands there. You want to use your upper body to keep that weight close to the center of gravity. So I think about kind of keeping it right between my ankles as I lower down. Good job. That's 30 seconds in. So halfway through the interval, make any adjustments that you need. Long spine, so sending those hips back. Fire the glutes. Good, Diane. That's 45 seconds. Almost there. And 2, 1, and rest and rotate. Very good. Upper body next, either holding it in the front rack or the overhead. I'm going to show front rack on round 1. Walk those feet in now, toes straight ahead. 2, 1, here we go. So I have my elbow forward, and even though I have the dumbbell here, if you can, keep it from resting on the shoulder, keep that arm engaged. That's ideal, or you can have that head of the dumbbell slightly resting. That's 15 seconds in. Remember, ribs down, everything nice and square. Breathe. You can fire that backside as well. So hold nice, strong foundation. 2, 1, and rest. Good job. We're just gonna go 10 seconds in between sides. So switching sides, check in with that posture. So shoulders stacked right over those hips. And here we go. Up and forward. Breathe. Don't let that elbow start to drop, so keep it pushing up. That's 15 seconds in. Ribs down, firing the glutes. Smooth breathing. And 3, 2, 1, and rest. Very good. Feel free to grab some water. That's our first cycle. We're going to take about 30 seconds, and then we back with that deadlift. Great job, crew. All right, everybody. So feel free to kind of keep some blood flow going here. Some side steps. 10 seconds. So remember, we're going that sumo deadlift. So I'm going to take a nice wide base stance. Feet just outside the hips. Long in the spine. Hinging over. And here we go. Fire the glutes. As I send the hips back, I also want to push those knees out. And really strong in the midsection. So firing the glutes, or firing your core. That's what's going to support your spine. And then once you understand what we're doing, try to just focus your gaze straight down towards the floor as you hinge over, looking straight ahead at the top. Very good. That's 30 seconds in. Knees push out as you hinging over. That's 45 seconds. Nice and controlled. Over and up. Over and up. Good job. And 2, 1, and rotate. So you can either stick with that front rack hold, or I'm going to progress to that overhead hold next. So wherever you feel best in that position. And 3, 2, 1, ribs down, either at the shoulder or up to overhead. Breathe here. And I like to just kind of have this non-working hand right on the abdomen, kind of checks in with my posture, because most common with this overhead position is we start to see this sway back. So down, hold everything strong. Good job. We're 20 seconds in. Again, if you can, try to lengthen that elbow straight out so the arm's locked out. And 2, 1, and rest. Good job. Bring it down. And get ready for that other side. Again, either this front rack or 2, 1 into that overhead. If you are holding overhead, try not to have a bent elbow. So ideally, we want to have it fully locked out. There you go. Good. Actively pushing up nice and high to the ceiling. Good job, everybody. That's 15 seconds. If you start to lose position, just come down, shake it out. It's our first time doing these overhead holds in class. 5 seconds. Still firing the glutes. 2, 1, and rest. Very good. 2 rounds down, 1 to go. 30 seconds rest. Good time to grab a sip of water or tea. "15 seconds. If you need a little bit longer rest, just give it to yourself. Otherwise, we're back to that deadlift or snatch if that's what you're choosing. Wide base stance, long spine. Send those hips back into that hinge. And here we go. Fire the glutes, over and up. Either keep your same tempo. If you're like, all right, last round on this first circuit, I'm feeling good. Feel free if you want to move a little bit faster. Just keep steady dynamics here. So good positions. Very nice. Remember, head neutral, that's our 30-second mark. Beautiful. Stay in line with that breathing. Over and up. 45 seconds done. Rolling down. Standing with confidence. Maybe one more. 2, 1, and rotate. Great job. Front rack or overhead hold next. So now we're going to walk those feet in, toes straight ahead. Either here with the elbow up or ribs down. And here we go. Breathe. Squeeze the glutes. Grip the toes. You're like a tree trunk here. Everything nice and strong with your branches reaching up towards the sunshine. Good work. We're 20 seconds in. Actively pushing up. 2, 1, and rest. Elbow down. Same thing other side. 2, 1, and here we go. Either at the shoulder, and if you're pushing overhead, we want to try to bring that shoulder towards the ear. So actively pushing up. And watch the head tries to shoot out. So chin in, as tall as I can from my feet to my top of my head. That's 15 seconds. Everything nice and tight. Pulling up through that core. And 3, 2, 1, and bring it down, shake it out. Fantastic, everyone. All right. Grab a sip of water. Then we're going to do a little bit more stretching and get ready for this next piece. We have some squatting coming up next. All right. If you have a chair or countertop to use for a warm-up, you can, or this next stretch. We're going to stretch out our lats. So we're going to step behind. You can even grab onto the fence there, Sharon. Slight bend in those knees. Reach out, grab on, and just gently hang back. Now this non-working arm, we can reach underneath the body. And obviously I could pull this chair over if I wanted, but I'm just using it as a counterbalance to get a nice stretch here on the long side. Sometimes you'll feel it right here. Sometimes you'll feel it down in the low back. Typically, you're going to feel it wherever you hold the most tension. One more breath, and then come on up. Pay attention to which arm you just stretched, and then let's go behind the back. Interlace the hands, Stretch out those elbows, pull the shoulder blades back. There you go, nice deep breaths here. Slight bend in those knees if you want to add that forward fold. And then when you're ready, make your way back up, and then we're going to stretch that lat on the opposite side. So again, a little bit of bend in the knees, reach long, drop back, and then this non-working arm is going to reach under. And it's like I'm trying to peer underneath my shoulder there, seeing what's going on with the paint on the wall. Nice deep breaths. Breathe into where you feel that area of tension, giving it a little extra attention. One more breath. And relax. Fantastic. All right, now we're going to use this station here, or if you're confident in your squat, you don't need to, but I have my feet about hip width apart, slight toe out. I'm going to grab on here. I'm just going to use it, kind of sink back into that squat, just waking everything up. Heels are planted, and I'm just gently shifting my weight side to side here, just opening up the hips, opening up the ankles, getting ready for a little bit of squatting. And whenever you need to, come on up out of that. And then let's go down once more if you feel good for it. So setting the hips back. If you're not using a chair, just reach those arms out in front of you. Use the arms to help keep your chest as tall as you can. And then push through your feet and stand. All right, everybody. So our next circuit, you can do a regular squat with or without weights. All right. Or if you want a little bit more overhead work, you can turn it into a thruster where you're going to squat down, push to overhead. It'll be 30 seconds. Then we'll take about 15 seconds to cycle. You'll support on the bench, or if you don't have a bench, on the knee, and we're going to be doing our single arm row. 30 seconds on one arm and 30 seconds on the other. We're going to do that for 3 cycles. Any questions? All right. I'm going to show a squat the first round with 2 dumbbells in each hand, and then I'm going to move into the thruster on the later rounds. Let's go ahead and start in 10 seconds. And as always, if you're not quite ready, just join us when you are. Feet about hip width apart, slight toe out, and here we go. Sinking the hips back. First of 3. Good. Sharon's going right into those thrusters. If you feel good for it, by all means, chest up. And those that aren't sure, thruster is here. So we're back, straight up, keeping those ribs down. Good, Diane, nice control. Knees push out as you drop down. And 2, 1, and rotate. Fantastic. So either supporting on the chair or in a long lunge. I'll show the lunge on the left side. Single arm row, 2, 1, here we go. Elbow up. Try to look straight down. And now we're focused on shoulder blade back and down, pulling that into the spine. We do these rows to really focus on our posture, building that strength in the mid-back. Nice smooth breathing. Couple more. Up and hold on that last one and relax. Very good. Same thing other side. I think about 10 seconds in between arms. So feet about hip width apart. You can support on the bench if you'd like. 2, 1, here we go. Same idea, elbow high. Chin in so your neck's nice and neutral. Squeeze it up at the top. Kind of pull that shoulder blade in towards the spine, strengthening that area. Good job. 10 seconds. Reach and up. 2, 1, and rotate. Fantastic. All right, we're going to take 30 seconds, and then we'll be back to those squats or the thruster. Nice job, everybody. Moving and grooving this morning. Doing well. All right, folks, let's go in 5. Back to those squats, or if you'd like to thruster, feet about hip width apart, slight toe out. 2, 1, here we go. Sinking back. Take your time, reaching the bottom. Try to maximize your depth as far as you can go without compromising all the positions. So I want to hold my core nice and strong, keep that nice curve of the low back, chest tall. Fantastic, almost there. 2, 1, and rotate. Fantastic, left arm row is first. Going in 10. Long base stance. 2, 1, and here we go. Up and in. Fantastic. Shoulder blade down the spine. No shrug into the ears. That's our halfway point. And then the bottom, you just kind of reach forward and then row up and in. And 2, 1, and relax. Fantastic. Same thing, other side. Doing great. And 3, 2, 1, here we go. Pay attention to that support arm as well. So we don't want to be sunken in, whatever the proper English would be on that. But be engaged up out of that support arm. If you're resting on your palm, nice wide grip of the fingers. Activate the arch of the hand. Reach and breathe. Very good. If you can't get that elbow a little bit higher above the torso there, Diane, so pull it up, 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 nice and high. There it is. Fantastic. And rest. Great job, crew. All right, shake it out, step it out, grab a sip. If you've got it in you, we're going to go one more cycle there. Starting back here in 15 seconds, so quick rest. And if you have that thrust, you want to do a thruster with one weight, you can just hold it on either side. Go ahead and set those feet about hip width apart. And 2, 1, here we go. Controlling down. Heels stay planted as you sink those hips back. Breathe. Good, Sharon. Fantastic. Core engaged. Firing those glutes. Good job. Couple more. And 2, 1, and rotate. Fantastic. Last set of single arm rows coming up next. Pick the arm to start on. I'll be on the left here. 2, 1, here we go. Elbow high, reaching down. Sync your breathing. I like to breathe in as I reach forward and exhale as I pull up and in. Very good, almost there. A couple more reps. And on this last rep, let's hold for about a 3 count. So 3, 2, 1, and relax. Very good. Let's go 15 seconds in between arms. Last time for this single arm row. All right, opposite arm going in 2, 1, here we go. Elbow high. That's excellent. Great, Diane. Good, Sharon. Reach and up and in. Very good. Over halfway. Let's get 2 more. On this last one, we're going to do that 3-second pause. Here we go. And up and in. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Awesome. Woo. All right, step it out. We only have 1 more circuit left. But if you're like building yourself into this and you're like, hey, that's good for today, maybe you didn't sleep well last night, you always want to listen to your body. How's your body feeling? Check it in. You want to use exercise to build yourself up and not break yourself down so bad that you compromise your immunity and all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and just kind of stretch out our spine a little bit. We're going to start with our hands across the shoulders, kind of like I Dream a Genie here. Just a little bit of bend in the knees. And now we're going to rotate to the side, peer over that shoulder, back to center, and same thing other way. Back to center. Let's get about 2 to 3 on each side. Lengthen as you rotate. Once more. You can either keep your hands here on the shoulders if that feels best, or take them up to overhead. And now we're going to bend to the side, nice and long. Inhale as you stretch back to the top, and then exhale as you bend to the other side. Fantastic. I just got my fingers interlaced here, so as I side bend, I reach nice and long. Once more. Fantastic. Good job. And then let's go ahead and relax those arms down. Walk your feet in so that they're just underneath the hips. Toes are straight ahead. Go ahead and bring your hands onto your thighs, chin to the chest, and we're just going to gently slide the hands down. It's kind of like we're doing a little cat-cow here. So you're rounding this time through the spine, just as a little bit of a stretch. Saying hello to the back of the body. Breathe in the bottom position, and then when you're ready, tuck those hips under, make your way back up to the top. Roll that shoulders back. So up and back a couple times. All right, everybody. And then let's repeat that quad stretch. So it's standing up tall out of the hips, grab the foot, pull the heel towards the glute. Our next and final circuit is going to be 10 minutes total. You rest as you need, okay? Our first exercise is a new one for some of you. And if you have any kind of question of your low back, I recommend sticking with the good morning instead of the swing. So I'm going to show you the difference. Go ahead and relax here and switch sides. So that those of you that might have a kettlebell and know the kettlebell swing, I don't have a kettlebell, but that would be a 2-arm swing with the bell right up here, close to the center of gravity, driving those hips coming to about shoulder height. If you don't have a kettlebell, but maybe you have 2 lighter weights, you can hold them at your sides. Slight bend in those knees. We call this a skier swing. You hinge at the hips, you fire the glutes, and you just gently let those weights swing up. Okay, when you're on that downswing, it's a little bit of a challenge on that low back. So it's really key to fire that core. Now, if you're in that category where you're like, my low back can be a little catchy, I don't recommend those swings. Instead, with weight or without weight, up on the chest for a good morning. So you'll hinge and then fire those glutes and stand. So it's going to be that same movement pattern without that dynamic stress on the low back. Okay, so choose what's best for you there. From the swing, you're going to either hold a plank next, or if you want an extra challenge, you can do some burpees. So you can hold the plank or do a burpee from an elevated position, or come down on the floor, either the top of the push-up or on the forearms for the plank. Okay, if you're doing the burpees, you're stepping up or hopping up, fire the glutes all the way to the top. This is our second 30 seconds. Okay, third 30 seconds is our mountain climber. So stepping the knees, keeping the hips square. And then our fourth 30 seconds is either your rest break, or if you want to keep that blood flow going for that full 10 minutes, step jacks or jumping jacks. Questions before we begin? So I'm going to demo the good morning on set 1, and then I'll go into the swings on the later sets. All right. There are no questions. We're going to start here in 10 seconds. If you're not quite ready, just join us when we are. And I'm going to show all of round 1 from an elevated position, and then I'll take it to the floor. 2, 1, here we go. Bowing forward, fire the glutes. Sharon, that's a little aggressive. I would not recommend swinging that big one. Yes. Bowing forward, fire the glutes. Appreciate that enthusiasm though. That's better. Good job. Good choice on weight. Bow forward and stand. If you are doing those swings, start with your lighter weights. Again, unless you're experienced. 2, 1, either plank or burpees next. We're transitioning right into it. So you can hold the plank or step it up, fire the glutes. This last cycle here, we don't have any assigned rest in between exercises. So you just join us whenever you're ready. Focus on your movements. Focus on your breathing. Very good. We're going to those mountain climbers next. 2, 1, and here we go. Hands right underneath those shoulders. Knees to the same side elbow. And this is where you want to really focus to keep your pelvis neutral. A lot of times you'll see people's hips kind of bouncing all around on these mountain climbers. So utilize your core to stabilize. Slight bend in those elbows so you're not hyperextended. Coming up on our rest break or some step jacks or jump jacks. 2, 1, and rotate. Woo! Very good. Here's the end of round 1. Very good. So if you want longer rest, go every other round. You'll have a total of 3 rounds of work. Otherwise, either good mornings or the swings here in 5 seconds. So feet about hip width apart, slight bend in those knees, and here we go. Bowing forward, fire the glutes. Good, long spine on the bow. Getting a little hip drive here. Give a nice elevation to that weight. Your arms are just guiding that weight through. So I'm not really lifting with the arms, as they're like straps. All right, folks, getting ready for that plank or that burpee for extra credit, and rotate. So if you're working through anything, just want to hold that plank. I'll do the burpees next round. My first of 3 classes, so I'm just going to build into it here. Again, if I have a little bit of a question in my low back, I'm just going to plank throughout all of this for extra stability. And get ready for those mountain climbers. 2, 1, up on the hands preferably, and step those knees up. Breathe as you step here. Nice, Diane. There you go, crew. Good job. Halfway through these mountain climbers. Either give yourself a rest or we'll go step jacks and jump jacks in 3, 2, 1, and rotate. Woo! Great time to grab some water. Nice job. 2 down, 3 to go. If you took that last round off, see if you can jump in with us. We're going here in 12 seconds. Kick off round 3. All right, stepping up to your weights. Again, use that good morning or the swing. I'm going to show it with 1 weight this time. Feet a little bit wider. Hinging over. Here we go. Fire the glutes. I don't let the weight go below the knees, so I have it close to my center of gravity, right up by the inner thighs. Squeeze the glutes as you push those hips forward. And there's no backward arch. I'm just coming vertical. 2, 1, and rotate. Good job. Plank or burpees. You can do the no push up or that full push up on your burpee. You choose, right? Make it as appropriate as you need for you. Fantastic. 10 seconds. Mountain climbers are next. And 2, 1. Here we go. Mountain climbers. Keep focused on that breathing as the heart rate gets up. Make sure you're still stabilizing your spine. Fire in that core. We have 10 seconds left. And then we're resting, or step jacks, couple jump jacks if you choose. 2, 1, 3 rounds done. Woo! You're going every other round. This next round is your off time. Time is ticking. Good job, everybody. 10 seconds till we start set 4. So either the good mornings or the swings. Then go back to these skier swings. Feet about hip width apart, long spine. Here we go. Hinge and drive. Chin in and breathe. Nice. That's great, Diane. Just like that. Good control on those good mornings. Excellent. Almost there. 2, 1, and rotate. Plank hold or the burpee. Second to last round, everybody. If you're doing that burpee, make sure that you alternate which foot you step up on. Fire the glutes to pull your chest vertical. Fantastic. And 3, 2, 1, climbing the mountain. Looking right between your hands, lifting through the shoulder blades, stabilizing through the core. Breathing. Fantastic. 10 seconds. And we're trying to starfish those hands to have a really good support on the wrist and transition. Woohoo! Resting or actively resting here. Again, if you're feeling good, want a little bit more dynamic movements, higher heart rate, jump it out. All right, folks, final round. Coming at you in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. If the weights are outside the thighs, I want my feet to be closer. So I've got room for that weight. Just a little bow forward. Fire the glutes. Using that hip drive to accelerate the weight up and forward. Not lifting with the arms. Burpees or planks. 2, 1. Here it is. Whoop, whoop. So you can just hold that plank or moving through the burpees. We're almost done, everybody. Just a little over a minute left. Stay confident. Check in with your self-talk. Are you being judgmental? Are you being your own best friend? 2, 1. Final mountain climbers. Sometimes it's the cardio intensive work that will get us critical of ourselves and we start to breathe heavier. We start to label ourselves as out of shape, all that type of stuff. And sometimes it's the stretches that people get hard on themselves for. 3, 2, 1. Finish on your feet. All right, everybody, final 30 seconds. So everybody move here. 20 seconds left. You want to finish with some jumping jacks or just step it out. Great job. And smile, you're almost all the way through. Woo! Here you go. 3, 2, 1, and all done. Good job. High fives. Or high 10, right? Woo, woo. Awesome work, everybody. Grab your waters. Let's walk it out, and then we'll get a nice little cool down stretch here. Perfect. All right, feel free to take a seat on the floor or in a chair. If you're on the floor, you can sit on a cushion or straight down, just depending upon your comfort level. We're going to do a seated twist to start. So if you're on the floor, we'll extend one leg out, step the leg across, sit nice and tall. We're going to pull this leg in. Sit tall, kind of peer over that shoulder. Nice deep breaths. Very good. And then let's relax out of that. Same thing other side. Step it over, walk it in, hug that leg in. Lengthen through that spine as you peer over the other shoulder. Don't mind my sniffles. Got a little bit colder air out here today. Very good. Go ahead and take it onto your back. If you're not able to get down on the floor, just mimic us the best you can. Otherwise, we're going to make our way down to the floor. Set those shoulder blades back and down. We're going to start by stepping the feet a little bit outside the hips and just really gently dropping the feet, or rather the knees, side to side like windshield wipers here. Just very nice. Then you can either stay there if you feel good. We're going to progress it up, knees together this time, and now we're going to have the arms out to the side like scarecrow arms, and use your core as you gently bring the legs across. Allow a little bit of a twist there. Sometimes you'll get a nice little adjustment into the low back, and then try to activate that core as you pull the knees up and across and take it to the other side. As your knees drop to that side, turn your head the other direction. And again, just drop as far as you feel confident into that twist. And then when you're ready, use the abs up and across. Same thing other way. Beautiful. Now once more, each side. And across. Very good. From here, we're going to go feet flat on the ground. And you can either do some bridges or join me for a bridge pose. So we're going to bridge the hips up, interlace the hands underneath the bodies, and extend the arms out. If it doesn't feel good to hold this pose, just go up and down as far as you're comfortable. If you're in the pose, chin in, lengthen the back of the neck. Let's get about 3 more breaths here. And relax down. Figure 4 stretch next. Foot on top of the opposite thigh, legs up and in. Hug that leg in. And then if you feel good here, extend the left, point it up, point the foot away, pull the foot towards your face, and bend that knee down. We're just encouraging that big old nerve that runs along the back of the leg to slide past the fascia, past the tissues. So we'll cycle through this flossing movement about 3 to 4 times. When you bend that knee down, hug the legs back in, point, lift, and down. Switch sides when you're ready. Same thing other way. Hugging in. And then say hello to the hip first. And then when you're ready, then start to extend the other leg. Point and bend it down. About 3 to 4 here. All right, folks, when you finish that, you can hug both knees in side to side, or if you know happy baby, so you grab the outsides of the legs, outsides of the ankles, and you kind of rock yourself side to side like you're just a little baby in the crib, staring up at the ceiling. No worries in the world. See if you can take yourself back to that state of mind. Fantastic. All right. A good couple to add in. We're at time here by repeating that quad stretch that we did standing earlier. Now that you're down on the floor, it's a great time to kind of take your time there. Listen to your body, see what else you're feeling. Thanks so much for coming today, and hope to see you next time.